from Jersey, Philly. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, and His Son, Yahweh Shai, that the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Right? So, brothers and sisters can see the topic of the video what we're going to be touching on. And it says how to be a nurturing or a nurturous husband and father unto your household. Right? Because in these last days, we got to know how to be a husband. We got to know how to be a father unto our households in these last days. Right? We got to know what's right and what's wrong that needs to be in our households or what not to be in our households. Right? And then this topic been weighing on me lately. I've been meant to touch on this topic a while ago, but all praise the Most High God that the Lord put it on my spirit to do it now. Right? So let's open this up. Let's go to Proverbs. And most High willing, brothers and sisters can hear me clearly. Um, you know, most High willing, there's no interference with the audio and so forth. If it is, most High willing, brothers and sisters will let me know that they can't hear me or if it's an interference with the audio. Right? This is Proverbs chapter 24 and I'm going to start at verse 3. Through wisdom is a household built, and by understanding is it established. So you want to have wisdom within your household, right? That's your physical household and your spiritual household, your body. Your household is your body as well, right? That's your house too, right? You want to have these things built up within wisdom. So in your household, you want to see that your wife is doing this, that, the third, reading, praying, studying, and doing these things to build herself up to be a virtuous woman. And the same thing with your children. You want to see your children, involving themselves with the things in the Bible. You want to see your children being built up, right, on this truth, man, and nothing else. You don't want to see your children, you don't want to see your woman, right, being built up on the things of this life. But you want to see your children and your wife and your children built up on spiritual things, right? Things that's going to keep them established and upright and rooted in this truth, right? Verse 4, and by knowledge shall the chambers be filled with precious and pleasant riches. And those pleasant and riches and pleasant and those riches are the wisdom, knowledge, and truth, right? Those are those pleasant things you want to have stored in your household. You don't want to have anything else stored in your household but those things, right? To keep your household standing and firm, right? Let's go to Luke. Man, I want to get this in Luke real quick. This is Luke chapter 14. So I can bear with me. This is Luke chapter 14. And I'm going to start at I want to start at verse 29. Right. Lest he hit after he have laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold to begin to mock him, right? So you don't want to build a whole household or build up a building and then build up a building halfway and don't finish it. How you're not going to want to finish what you have built, right? That's the same thing that goes with your household. You can't just build up a household to be strong and firm, but you only build it up halfway, right? You're not taking the time to really sit down and be with your household or be with your family and try to, build them up in the spirit, right? You're the only one that's knowing these certain breakdowns, That's knowing the feast days. That's knowing this, that, the third on how to keep the Sabbath and so forth. Right? What's really going on? You only tell your family, hey, look, you can't eat pork. You don't tell them why. You just tell them you can't eat pork. Hey, wear those fringes. You make sure you wear them fringes. They don't even know why they wearing the fringes. So you building your household, but you're not fully finishing it. You're not fully finished building the household. You're not actually teaching them and showing them the truth or the way of these certain things, man. You just telling them. That's not a way of being a husband. That's not a way of being a father. You gotta actually show that you're an actual husband, man. Because people can see that. People in this world, people in this truth can see that uh, this man is not really building his household up, bro. This man is not really showing his family what they're supposed to do. You know Israel, man. Israel going to see that, and you don't want to be caught out there, and your family don't know what's going on, man. Your family don't know what's going on. They just coming to the feast days. They just sitting there. They don't know why. They don't know why they're there. They don't know why they're celebrating with all these people. Your kids just running around acting like a fool, man. Not actually knowing why they're supposed to do the certain things they're supposed to do in this truth. Right? Verse 30, saying this man began to build and was not able to finish. And you're just beginning to build, but you're not wanting to finish. Not wanting to finish building the rest of your household up, man. You don't want to be like that as a father, as a husband in this truth. Right? I want to get this next precept in Psalms. Right? This next precept in Psalms. So we got to be loving and caring, nurturing, husbands and fathers in these last days, man. We have to, right? That's our duties as a husband. That's our duties as a father. To teach our households, right? This is Psalms chapter 11, and I'm gonna start at verse 3. It says, "If the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do?" Right. So if the foundations of your household and so forth, all the things that you started to build and put there, what can it do if it's already destroyed, man? It's destroyed and falling down. Now you're trying to pick up the pieces. No, it's too late. Because now it's all destroyed. Your wife is here, your children's there. They are just scattered. Because you want to be lacking as a father, a husband and a father. You can't be like that in these last days. You have to be always willing to teach and build your family up in this truth, right? That's wanting to give the nourishment unto your family, man, unto your children, unto your wife. It's very important, right? Right, I want to get this in Genesis real quick, because plenty of our forefathers is a good example, right, to show how to be a husband and a father. Right, I want to get this in Genesis, right, 18, right. Get this in Genesis 18. And who not better, right, to show a great husband and father than one of our forefathers, Abraham, man. Abraham literally brought his family through, right? Abraham was a great father, man. Had his family built up, right? They know who to serve. They knew who the God they were supposed to serve, man. Right? Let me get this real quick. This is Abraham. Slaki. This is Genesis chapter 18 and verse 18. Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. Right? Slaki, reading on. For I Slaki, for I know him that he will command his children and his household after him. So throughout all those things that the Lord had blessed him with, he knew that he was going to have Abraham was going to have his household built upon these things, right? To follow after the statutes and the commandments that was given unto him by the Most High God, given unto him to do these certain things. He knew that Abraham was going to have his household built on these things, man. Right? Reading on. And they shall keep the way of the Lord to be justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he have spoken of him. Right? So the Lord knew that Abraham was going to do these certain things, man. Right? And all praise the Most High. Abraham was one of the great examples of being a great father, being a great husband, right? A teacher of good things unto his household, showing them the way, not just giving them half the truth and let them figure out on their own. No, that's not the way, man. That's not the way of being a husband, a father unto your household. You have to give them the full understanding of what they're doing. You don't want your children just praying to the Most High and they don't really know him. That'd be off. You don't want to just give your wife a dress and a hair wrap and a Bible and tell her to figure it out. I'll be back. I got to go to work. That'd be off. You have to really sit down and show your household what they have to do in this truth. Obviously, you know. So the Most High gave you the understanding to pass that along down your household. To build, the Most High gave you a household to continue to build, man. To continue to build within the nation. You have to continue to show and let this thing keep getting passed down, man. Right? Let's go to I'm gonna get this in First Peter. Right. I'm gonna get this in First Peter. Right. God forbid, you pass away in this life, and now your wife and your children don't know what to do after you gone. God forbid. You're gone. Now they don't know what to do because they wasn't built up. Because you didn't take the time to really build your family up, to build your household up. You didn't want to take the time. Now, I know, brothers got work. Brothers got to do certain things to take care of their household. But you got to make sure you're taking care of your household by bringing them and showing them these scriptures. Teaching them and letting them know what they have to do. Right? Let me get this in First Peter. This is First Peter. Let me see if this one I want first. This is First Peter. This is First Peter, chapter 3, and I'm gonna start at verse 6. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. Now, brothers probably, some brothers would like to use this and show their wife, hey, look, you gotta obey me. You gotta listen to me. You have to listen to me. And Sarah listened to Abraham, now you gotta listen to me. Hey, we know that. We know that. All praise the Most High. But you can't just tell the sister to do that and you're not showing her the way, man. Abraham did these things, and that's how Sarah seen the leadership, right? And she knew that she had to follow after him because she knew he was in this walk and he had faith and so forth, and she followed after the things he told her, man. You can't just be telling her, hey, look, you gotta listen to what I tell you. Put this dress on, take the Bible, and go do your thing right now, man. Go figure this thing out right now. That'd be off. That'd be off, right? Whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well, right? And they got to do well by learning and listening by their husbands that's teaching them how to do these certain things, right? To follow after the Lord, to have a shame face, man, against this world, right? To have the faith and trust, right? Because if you just tell them these things and they're not actually building up their faith and trust, then what are you really doing, man? You're not really showing them what you're not really showing them, right? And Slucky, and are not afraid of any amazement, right? Uh, I wanted to Slucky. Let me keep reading. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife, right? And we have to give honor unto our wife too, man. It's in the scriptures. We have to give honor unto our wives, right? We have to show them. We have to be telling them, they're doing a good job, man. We got to be really willing to do these certain things. We can't just always get honor from our wives. Thank you, Malak. Thank you, King. Right? Thank you, Adwan, for all this, that, the third. You do. I mean, all praise the Most High if your wife is doing that. But you want to give her honor too, man. That she's staying rooted in this truth and not letting the things of this world overthrow her and cast her away. Right? Seeing these other women in this world, being fools, man. Sometimes you gotta really be like, all praise the Most High, and you gotta let them know, man, they doing a good job too. And that they're doing so lucky for all the madness in the background. But that they're doing a good job, and you seeing them, they I'd be happy when I see my wife, finish books in the Bible, man. I'll be so happy. I'll be giving her, I'll be giving her props, man. That she finished these books in the Bible, that she's doing these certain things to show that she's being a modest woman in this truth. We gotta do these certain things, man. We have to. Right? As unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. Right? Now I wanted to get this next precept real quick, and let me see. This is what I want in Ephesians. So I can bear with me. This is Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 28. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies, right? So you have to love your wife as you'll love your own body, man. As you'll love your own self, right? You want to take care and show that love and appreciation unto your wife as you want to do to your own body, right? Unto your own self, right? You will never want to see yourself hurt. You will never want to see yourself lost. You will never want to see yourself in any uncircumstance. You will always want to take care and do the things that you want for yourself. So why not for your wife? Because y'all are one body. Y'all are one body. So if you see your wife out there and God forbid in the world, or just not knowing what she's doing, or just seeing her live looking bad, that'd be off. That'd be off. Right? Where was that? Right. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. Right? So if you love your wife, you love of yourself, man. If you don't love, if you don't love yourself, how much do you not love your wife, man? Right? You gotta love your wife, man, and your wife gotta love you too, right? It's not just a one-way streak, right? For no man, Slaki, for no man ever yet hateth his own flesh, but nourishment, or Slaki, nourisheth, right? And cheerfulness, or cheereth it, even as the Lord, the church, right? So we have to do these certain things unto our wives, unto our households, man. We have to, right? I want to go to Proverbs real quick. Right, I'm gonna get a few more, right? I'm gonna get a few more through the spirit. I'm gonna close up. All right, all praise the Most High. So we have to love our wives as husbands, right? We gotta love our children as fathers, as the same Salaki, Salaki, right? We gotta love our children as fathers, right? The same way how our Lord loves us, right? How He loves us as His spiritual wife, and how He loves us as His children, right? Let's get this in Proverbs. Proverbs. I want to see if this is what I want first. If I want this first. This is Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. He that ruleth his spirit, then he taketh a city, right? So a man that is slow to anger, right? That's not so hyped to get mad at his wife or his children, right? To understand that, they might not know these certain things. So that's what gives you the chance to show them, and to show them and teach them the way and the right way to do certain things, right? Right? And he that ruleth his spirit, then he taketh a city, right? He that taketh the city, right? If you can rule over your own spirit, then you can rule over a city. If you can rule over your own household, if you can do these certain things in your own household to make sure it stands and so forth, then you can rule over a whole city, right? That you're making sure that your household is doing the things that they have to do. Same way how you want to rule over a city and make sure the whole city is doing what they're supposed to do, right? I want to get this next. Sirach. All right. Let's go to Sirach real quick. This is Sirach chapter 4 and verse 30. Right. This is Sirach chapter 4 and verse 30. Be not as a lion in thy house, right? Nor Slaki. This one. Yeah. Be not as a lion in thy house, nor a frantic among thy servants. So you can't be a lion in your household. You can't be going in your household acting like a fool because you seen your wife uh, uh, cook your food the wrong way, right? Or you seen your children, just playing the game for too long. Or what you want to do, you want to go in your household and you want to see, look, hey, y'all been in this game for too long. It's time to get off. Now y'all got to read, do this, that, the third. You can't just be going there roaring and lying like a lion. Just get on your family, man. That's not being an actual husband and wife. I mean, a husband and father unto your household. You have to show them, look, this is doing too much. Y'all been on TV for too long, right? You've been on your phone for too long, right? It's time to put those things away and time to jump into this into the Bible, into your studies, into your reading, right? And if some brothers might have they wife, read before they do anything, right? Before they wake up, they might start reading their chapters. You might go into their scripture, go into their flashcards, right? Start studying, right? Before they do anything pertaining to some other stuff, right? Same thing with their children, right? I want to go to, this is Sirach. I want to go to Sirach. I'm going to another one. Sirach 36, and I want to start at verse 24. He that getteth a wife bringeth a possession, a help like unto himself, right? And a pillar of rest. So when you got to really realize, when you have a wife, that's a possession. That is a possession that is given unto you by the Most High. A beautiful possession, right? And you got to be really grateful to even have that, right? And she is a rest unto you. She's a pillar. When you see these pillars on these buildings and so forth, they're standing, they're holding, right? When strong winds come, they don't want to move. They're not moving. That's the same thing with your wife, right? If you build her up in this truth, you show her the way, these certain things. Now, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling like all hope is lost, you go into your wife, and your wife is there for to lie your head upon her bosom and to tell you good and sweet things according to the scriptures. Right? Brothers get stressed out. Brothers get tired and so forth of this captivity and all the things of this world. But when you go home and you have your wife, and she can help uplift you as well, because you built her up in this truth and so forth, and showed her the scriptures and all that, now she can relay those things back unto you. She can relay all those things back unto you, and tell you the good things, and tell you what to help push you forth. Right? All praise the Most High. Actually, let me get a couple more and I'm gonna close out. Right? Let me get this in Sirach 40. This is Sirach chapter 40, and I'm gonna start at verse. I'm gonna start at verse. I'm gonna start at verse 19. It says, "Children and the building of a city continue a man's name, but a blameless wife is counted above them both." Right? So you have all these things and so forth, right? Children and building of a city, right? They're good. They can continue a man's name, right? But a blameless wife, they're a blameless wife is counted above those things, man. So you want to have a wife that's blameless, right? That's virtuous, right? That's modest, right? And that's always willing to correct herself when she knows she's in the wrong, right? And she won't know she's being corrected or know if she's in the wrong if she's not being taught the right way, right? And it's the same thing with your children, right? You have to build up your family, right? You have to, as a husband, a father in this truth, right? I'm gonna get my closing precept and I'm gonna close out. This is Revelation chapter 22. Chapter 22. Chapter 22 and verse Shalaki. This is Revelation chapter 22 and verse 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. Right? And the Lord is going to give you that reward, man. He's going to give you the reward of you teaching your household, building your household, right? Doing these certain things to have your household built on the understanding and wisdom. And he can give you another reward to men that didn't do these things. Men that just let their households fall. Now their wife is here and their children is there. Right? Verse 13. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. So, brothers and sisters, continue to keep the laws, commandments, right? Continue to build yourselves up, right? Especially you men, continue to build yourself up and continue to build your household up and continue to keep these commandments so we can see those 12 gates that are set up for the 12 tribes of Israel. With that, Kwame Yashrallah, Shalom.